St. Ignatius in the university milieu. This is the topic for my sharing today. I would like to begin with a question. Why did he choose the University of Paris for his further studies? There are two main reasons. Number one, being a Spaniard, he realized that it was better for him to separate himself from the Spanish universities, where he was divided between his desire to pursue and complete his studies and his attraction to continue with his spiritual works. Secondly, also completing university studies would pave way to take holy orders and gain a few new companions for his way of life. These were the two main reasons for which he chose University of Paris, wherein he spent the last 7 years in Paris out of 10 years of his studies. He began his studies at the University of Paris at the age of 33. In this University of Paris, there were around 4,000 students, which were made up of 50 different colleges. Also, Paris and its university were at the intellectual crossroads of Europe, and the atmosphere was vibrant and restless. It was a religiously turbulent time, and the students' Catholic faith was threatened by what was happening there. John Calvin, the reformer, was living in the college of the university. In 1533, a pro-Lutheran sermon was preached. The Protestant Reformation was underway, and at last the head was broken off a statue of Our Lady. On the other hand, coming to his way of life, being a Spaniard, he was a foreigner without friends, poor to the extreme of poverty, and he was an external student who attended lectures and studies with the least possible expense. The university studies demanded him to give up the consolations he was experiencing in prayer. It was told that during the course, he was often distracted by spiritual thoughts, and he promised never ever to miss a word of his course as long as he could find bread and water to live on. To put it more succinctly, he had to do himself considerable violence to be able to control his spirit in relation to the teachers of this world, as he was so much accustomed to the best teacher, who was the Holy Spirit. With this background, he signed up to take the mandatory preparatory course in Latin, where he obtained the skills in grammar, rhetoric, and versification. After this course, he began to study philosophy and received his Bachelor of Arts at the age of 41. The very next year, he was granted his licentiate, which allowed him to teach. It is interesting to note that he had requested to be rigorously examined despite his age. He did honorably, ranking 30th out of a group of at least 100 students. Thereafter, he spent one more year studying theology until he left Paris, where God was leading him to Rome for the foundation of the future society of Jesus. Thank you.